2014 has been a tough year for the local mining industry and the economy in general. The slump in commodity prices globally continues unabated. The prices of oil, platinum, gold, iron ore and silver are spiraling downwards amid the continuing decline in global demand. Now, this has serious implications for the South African economy, which is still heavily dependent on mineral exports.
Mining is the backbone of the South African economy. It contributes 7% to the country's GDP. Minerals are what the country exports most, and many other sectors, including manufacturing, banks and other service industries, rely heavily on mining directly and indirectly. This year, commodity prices have slumped severely, mainly as a result of weak demand from China and the sluggish global economic growth. As a result, the rand has weakened significantly and the economy has barely managed not to fall back into a recession.
We are facing challenges economically, and mining houses are facing the challenges of this downturn. But we know that it's a cycle, it's an industry that's driven by cycles. We will recover, and we're looking forward to a better 2015.
But not everyone is so optimistic. Commodity prices, from gold to iron ore, continue to fall to record lows. In the midst of that, there's been a spate of shaft closures and massive retrenchments across the mining industry this year. Analysts expect the trend to continue next year.
It clearly is deteriorating into further job losses. I expect that the mining industry during the course of the next 12 months will most likely lose jobs relative to the previous 12 months. And at the same time, we've noticed that there's been a lack of investment in that sector. You can't blame all of the lack of investment on the labor industry, because clearly the electricity position has hurt the mining industry.
But the main story of the year was the 5-month-long AMCU strike in the platinum sector. It ended 6 months ago, but its impact continues to haunt the country today.
The platinum strike was 5 months in length. It impacted not just the mining industry, but it impacted the manufacturing sector. It hurt South Africa's exports, and clearly it hurt business confidence, and was a feature in the credit rating downgrades that South Africa received during the course of 2014. So all round, mining had a significant negative effect on the South African economy.
But the strike did wonders for AMCU. It catapulted the union onto the center stage of labor relations in the mining industry and beyond. Speaking to SABC News on the sidelines of the Mining Health and Safety Summit in Johannesburg last month, AMCU President Joseph Machungwa said since the unprecedented strike, even nurses and teachers now want to join AMCU.
AMCU is a choice for the working class in South Africa. Even you can go to SAPS, they want to join AMCU. You go to Metro, they want to join AMCU. Even the teachers from SADTU, they also want to join AMCU. So, AMCU has been growing. And the reason is that we are not compromised.
The union's rise to a force to be reckoned with has, of course, come at the expense of its bitter rival, the NUM.
The strike of 5 months has affected us in different ways. If you look at Anglo Platinum, we had an agreement already with Anglo. And that agreement in certain areas was much superior than the AMCU agreement. With the majority status, Anglo tried to impose on us the AMCU agreement, which at certain areas which were inferior. For example, no increases in the subsequent years on all other issues, right? Whereas us had some increases, provision. And also there was a provision for equalization of salaries, same job of same value, same salary. With their agreement, there shall be no financial implication on anything. So in a way, we'll be negatively affected by that agreement.
Having unseated the NUM as the dominant union in the platinum sector, AMCU is now making inroads into the gold sector. It is now the majority union at a number of shafts which used to be NUM strongholds.
We see presence in some of the mines, but mainly as a result of internal democratic challenges in the union, where people who were not elected through the elections of NUM then jump ship and go to another union just to get leadership. So you can't stop that. So it's not as a result of our failure. It's as a result of people being desperate, wanting to occupy a leadership position. We don't see them really as a threat because we are still a majority union, over 60% in the gold mines.
The growth of AMCU in the coal sector could have serious implications for the new round of wage negotiations due to begin in June next year. Joseph Machunjwa says gold bosses are terrified at the prospect of facing off against a stronger AMCU next year.
We are growing even in the coal sector. As you are aware maybe that even the Chamber of Mine is shaking because they know that the trick that they played last year, it cannot work this year. I mean for 2015 wage negotiations.
Meanwhile, the NUM sees some of the recent announcements of planned layoffs by coal producers as a strategy to reduce the workforce ahead of the June wage negotiations, which will undoubtedly be very tough. Bongini Mutua, SABC News, Johannesburg.